Can you see me? All right. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Joey Rodriguez. All right, let me cut that off. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my channel. My name is Joey Rodriguez. I'm a local realtor here in the Southern California area. More specifically, I'm out of Riverside County, and I work Temecula, Menifee, Hemet, San Jacinto, and all of the surrounding areas here. So today we're going to be taking a look at a video from Mr. Scott Walters, Real Estate USA. I've seen quite a few of his videos. He makes a lot of claims about whether or not the real estate market is going to be crashing, and whether or not it's a good time to buy, or and he covers a lot of different topics in a lot of his videos. However, this one really did catch my attention. I do feel like there's some things that he fails to mention, and there's some details that he kind of glosses over just so that he can make his point. Not coming at the guy. I just, as a real estate professional myself, um, I just want to make sure that if you're going to a channel to get real estate information, don't just take it at face value. Do a little bit of research behind that, behind what that person is telling you, so that you know for sure that you're getting the best absolute information. So without further ado, let's go ahead and start the video. I'll pause it at certain points and then I'll chime in. Maybe I'll have a question to Mr. Scott Walters himself, or if it's a topic that I feel like I'm educated enough to elaborate on myself, then I'll do so. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. Okay, so let me see here. Is the audio coming through? Huh? I didn't think so. All right, so we're having some technical difficulties here. Let's see. Audio output capture. Save. Boop, boop. Let's see. All right, so let's just switch over to here. All right, so let's switch to internal speakers.
Video, like subscribe to the channel.
Oh, okay, here we go. So now that we have the audio issue fixed, let's go ahead and jump back into the video.
Leave a comment below. I would love to hear from you. Please watch to the end for my final thought. Hit the bell icon so you're notified when new videos are released. It's very important to stay close to the channel in these very, very tricky times. All right, folks, welcome to the channel. It's always an honor and a privilege to be with you. I hope you're all doing great. Buckle up and strap in. I got a hard-hitting, pull no punches, no sugarcoating it, no rainbows and sunshine. I'm just going to give it to you and give it to you straight, and I've got a good one for you today.
So right off the bat, the first thing that I see Scott does, and he does this with every single video, and if you've seen it, you already know, it's this big long intro, and it's a big long sweeping statement of how he's going to give you the truth, give it to you straight, no sugarcoating, just going to tell you exactly how it is. It's hard hitting, pull no punches. My question is, what does that really mean?
In a nutshell, what does that really mean? I mean, he does that a lot. He makes a lot of big, long, sweeping statements. And my question is, what's really behind the statement that you're making? What is the statement that you're really trying to make? Instead of just talking uh, what we call it's kind of like politician talk, where you just say a lot of things that really don't mean a whole lot. Doesn't really mean a whole lot of anything. So let's go ahead and jump back into the video.
The latest trend that we're seeing inside the industry is back on market. We call BOMs. When we get our notifications, inter-agent emails, only members of the multiple listing service get these, not the public. And I'm going to show you today inter-agent emails, what we're seeing right now. And it is an alarming trend. Like I said, viewer discretion is advised.
And so here we go again, sensationalizing what he's about to show you guys, so that the impact of what he's going to show you has a much bigger impact on what he's about to show you, basically. And days on market isn't, back on market isn't necessarily a bad thing. He's going to say something, he's going to say that it really has to do with the price. 9 times out of 10, it really doesn't have anything to do with the price. It has to do with the buyer not being able to perform. Or maybe there were some inspections that was done on the home. Maybe the seller didn't want to. Do the repairs on the home. Maybe there was a disagreement between both parties, and they just really couldn't find even ground to make the deal work. And as a result, it'll fall out of escrow. Now, there are times when the home will fall out of escrow, and then it'll come back on the market at a decreased price, which he will show you here. Really, that's just a sign of a good agent that sends out that email. Because they're trying to do their seller a solid and get that home sold. The agent is doing their job. Okay, so let's get back into it.
Not really, but it's almost that alarming for me as an industry guy. Like I've said before, love real estate. I know many of you are going to win in real estate, but typically, buying in the height of a bubble rarely produces millionaires. Buying outside the bubble quite possibly will. Only agent in America that's been willing to put people on the sideline.
All right, so here he's trying to make himself seem as if he's the only good agent in the industry, and this really rubs me the wrong way, because to be honest with you, are there a lot of lousy agents out there? Absolutely, and usually it's due to a lack of training, and they're plain and simple incompetent. They don't understand the business, they don't understand the transaction, they don't understand how to communicate. And as a result, there are a lot of agents out there that don't give a great customer service. And so when he says the only agent that's warning people in America, that's not true. There's plenty of other real estate channels here on YouTube that you can go to, and they'll actually give you data and information to back up the statements that they're making and back up the claims that they're making. So these are the things that he says. That really you have to take with a grain of salt. And as an agent myself, I don't think that's right. I don't care. I'm not the type of agent that's going to kick another agent in the pants, or kick any agent in the pants, because we're all in the same industry. So if one of us looks bad, then we all look bad. And so if Scott here is the only knight in shining armor, it kind of sends the message that if you're going to do business, then who are you going to do business with, if not Scott Walters, right? So let's get back into it.
And earn their business later. Didn't like seeing people going above and beyond appraised values, because I knew as soon as this real estate market corrected, they're the ones that go upside down first. And over 10 million people did exactly that through the buying euphoria. And now we're seeing these markets cool off. So today we're going to take a look at an email on what happens when an agent like me or anybody else takes a listing and lets the owner set the price. We're desperate for listings. We've been so desperate for listings, we're willing to take your listing and even let you set the price. And here's the check.
All right, so here's another thing where he says, we're desperate for listings, and we're so desperate that we'll allow the seller to set the price. And in some cases, that's absolutely true. There are a lot of agents out there that will not only let the seller set the price, but they'll lie to the seller about the selling price. They'll lie to about what the home's worth just so they can get the listing. So with that, I can definitely agree. However, as a professional, we should go in there with a comparative market analysis and tell the seller the truth. regardless of whether or not we're going to be able to get the listing. Because as the seller, they deserve the truth, and as a professional, it's your job to deliver the truth.
Challenge. Anytime you're selling a house, the number one thing you have to do is do a comparable market analysis. What do recent sales show your property to be worth? And if we come on the market at those prices, at the top of the market, how many people do you think are going to jump off the fence and buy at the height of a real estate bubble? Not many. The people that are still left out there buying typically are people that have just decided to buy. Like I've said, as a trained salesman,
Okay, so here he says that we should do a comparative market analysis and show the seller the recently sold properties, which is absolutely true. However, in this market, it's shifted extremely quick. Not just that, interest rates have gone up. And so with interest rates going up and prices staying where they're at, it makes affordability 10 times harder for someone to get into a home. So instead of showing the seller the close prices, because the close prices is really in the past, you should really be showing the seller what's actively on the market, because that counts as a comparative as well. So it's not just about the closed sales, it's actually about the competition that's on the market as well. And as an agent, it's your job, as a great agent, it's our job to make sure that we position the seller's home in a way that's going to make the competition, that's going to make the buyers want to buy our seller's home versus the competition. Okay, so let's move on, move forward.
I know once you make up your mind to buy, you're buying. I got you. I got you every time. But the reality is more and more people are waking up. So as the market continues to cool because of interest rate hikes, and even though they want to tell us we're not in a recession, we all know we are. We're at the front end of a recession. Always say tail end of a pandemic, front end of a recession. Buckle up and strap in. There's no avoiding this one. It's just the reality. Now it becomes what level? Correction, recession, full-blown depression.
And so here we go again with another one of the big sweeping statements: tail end of a pandemic, front end of a recession. What's it going to be? Is it going to be a correction, depression, or recession, or whatever he says? Just a big, long, sweeping statement to really get you worked up emotionally, to make you feel like he's saying something. In reality, it's an empty statement.
We'll just have to wait and see and time out. Now, if you've been watching this channel, and if you are new, please subscribe. Subscribe right away. There's never been a more important time to get forward thinking, critical thinking, ahead of the curve. And let me just...
And once again, subscribe, subscribe, subscribe. Why? Because we're forward thinking, we're critical thinking, we're level-headed realists. Again, what does that mean? What does that mean? Another big sweeping statement, so you should subscribe right now. Okay?
Tell your friends, I'm probably one of the only agents doing this.
He's one of the only agents.
Sharing insider information or just giving real talk in a way that makes sense. I know a lot of you see a lot of just sugarcoating it, grandstanding, minimizing risk, saying that this time is different. Listen, friends, every time we've had a real estate bubble, they've always crashed. So I don't know why this time it's supposedly different, but hopefully I'm wrong. The reality is, friends, what I'm seeing now is I continue. We're gonna do a little more of this, I think, moving forward, because I'm seeing a lot of where I used to get interagent emails constantly, just people needing buyer needs, needed inventory, needed buyers. I got buyers. Now it's the opposite. Just sellers coming to market. But the alarming.
So here, to a certain extent, he does have a point. We are seeing a lot. We are seeing a lot of agents that are marketing their seller's home in an attempt to try to get as many buyers into that property so they can actually get it sold. I mean, that's your job as an agent. So if you're getting emails from other agents and they're promoting their sellers, they're promoting their seller's home, even if it's at a price cut. I mean, they're doing their job. That's what they're supposed to do. Okay. So when interest rates go up, prices come down. And a lot of the homes that we're seeing that are getting these huge price cuts are sellers that are still drunk off of the seller's market that we had in the past 2 years. That market is gone. The market is no longer here. It's a totally different market. So I will give him that. Yes, we are starting to see a lot of concessions come back. We're seeing days on market extend. But we're shifting back into a normal market. So that's to be expected. Let's get back into it.
part that we're seeing now is the back on markets, properties falling out of escrow. Like I said, or I was about to say, what's happening is people are coming to market at the top of the market and they're getting stuck on the market. So if they even get something under, even to get an offer accepted, typically if you get an offer, you're going to go with your highest and best offer, but your highest and best offer sometimes won't perform. A lot of people are waking up and backing out of deals. And that's when you see agents sugarcoating it, coming back on the market and saying, we're back on the market and this is why. When really,
Okay, so when a property comes back on the market again, it's not always about the price. If a home goes into escrow, that means it was priced right. That means that the home was priced at least partially right. Because here's what we know: when you overprice the home, and let's say you get a couple of showings, but you don't get any offers, that lets you know that the home was probably priced 10% over the market value. So you have to reduce the price by 10%. If you get some showings, you don't get any offers, then that lets us know that more than likely your home was priced 5% over the market value. So that's usually the rule of thumb that we use in the business. Okay, so when a home comes back on market, it's not necessarily due to the price. There's other things that come along with it, and here's the thing: we don't know the inner mechanics of these deals that are going on, so we can't really pinpoint why it is that they're coming back onto the market and why it is that they're falling out of escrow. The only people that know why that's happening is usually going to be the agents that are involved, the buyer and the seller, and the escrow company, and the most important person, which is going to be the lender. And sometimes, believe it or not, the agent on the buyer side will do their job. The agent on the seller side, they'll do their job, and then you'll have an incompetent lender, because there are lenders out there that don't know what they're doing. And as a result, deals fall out. So let's get back into it.
really, in reality, what's going on, friends, I'm going to show you what agents, how they like to try to spin this and tell you why they're back on the market. In reality, it's always a price problem. Every time you come back on the market, it is a price problem. Somebody got cold feet and had a moment of clarity and realized they were buying at the top of a real.
So what happens if the home appraises at market value, and the buyer hasn't removed their contingencies on their loan policy, and because the home appraised so high, now the buyer's going to try to get a deal on that home and then counter with a lowball offer. Who's pulling out then? Would it be the buyer or the seller? I mean, these things happen, and the reality is we don't know what's happening in every single one of these real estate transactions, because there's a lot of working parts on the inside of them. Okay.
Real estate bubble or found something else that was a better deal, it doesn't matter. It is a price problem. There is no sugar coating it. So I'm going to go ahead and roll a couple clips from local multiple listing service, and let me just tell you, if you're an agent, chime in the comments below. Let us know what you're seeing in your local MLS, because I know if I'm seeing it in this one, you're seeing it in yours. This is one of the hottest markets in the world, showing massive fractures and cracks. So we're going to roll this footage, meet back here, and wrap it up. Let's get started.
All right, friends, let's go ahead and read through some of these back on market notifications. Let's start with this first one. Unfortunately, our buyer never performed, and after multiple extensions, the seller finally canceled. We had a lot of interest and multiple offers on this elegant prop. All right, off to another one. Due to unfortunate experience with buyers, this home is back on market. Now a best value. Looks great. Show and sell. Okay. All right, let's see what this agent has to say. We had a price change to $3,695,000 a couple of weeks ago. Went into escrow for a light second. Buyer dropped out due to health issue. Yeah, I bet you it was a moment of clarity health issue more than likely. Let's continue on.
So right there, buyer dropped out due to health issue. We don't know how true that is. However, Scott takes advantage of that moment, and he tries to speculate, and say, yeah, I bet it was a moment of clarity, that the buyer backed out. We don't know that. You know, we don't know. What if that buyer actually did have a health issue and they just weren't able to be in the right place at the right time to you know, to get the paperwork signed or whatever, or you know, these things happen. I talked to a seller today. Their home came off the market as an expired listing, and she's not going to put her home back on the market for another couple of months. And the reason why she's not going to do that is because she had heart surgery and she just got out of the hospital and she's trying to recover. These things happen. Believe it or not, these things happen. However, what we can't do is speculate and then make an assumption that it was the price that caused the health issue and that's why the buyer backed out. I don't know about you, but I don't know. It sounds ludicrous. Let's continue.
All right, moving along, let's see what this agent has to say on this property. Back on the market, no fault of the property. Well, it was somebody's fault because clearly it's back on the market. And typically what the problem is? Price. All right.
Again, speculation. I mean, we don't know what happened. We don't know whose fault it was. We don't know why it fell out of escrow. However, once again, because you guys don't have the information that we have, or you don't have the information that those individuals that were actually involved in that transaction have, he takes advantage and spends it and says it's about price.
Here's our next one. Surprisingly back on the market. After multiple offers, the first-time homebuyers couldn't get their financing in order and had to cancel. All right, here we go with another one.
Which happens. I mean, it's tough. When interest rates go up, restrictions on lending get tighter. And as a result, less people qualify, which means the market slows down, and usually prices have to come down due to that. It happens. It's called a normal market.
Hot Springs is now available again. No fault of property. The home inspected beautifully, but the previous buyer simply decided not to move to town.
Now this one here is extremely, interesting because this one actually has the address here. And if I'm not mistaken, Mr. Scott Walters, your market is Santa Barbara, if I'm not mistaken. So because it had the address, I went ahead and did a quick Google search on it, and I pulled up the property, and here it is. I want to show you guys. 770 Hot Springs, Santa Barbara, California. Sold for $17 million. Just recently closed, and on the 28th of July. I'm sorry, 28th of July. So why would you give the information about the home falling out of escrow, but you would leave out the fact that the home actually sold? I'm curious. Why would you do that? You know, seems kind of shady to me. Let's move forward.
All right, sounds fair enough. All right, moving on. Subject to cancellation of existing escrow and no fault of seller, buyer did not qualify with mobile home purchase. New buyer ASAP. So this is a mobile home that went sideways. Hello everyone, my listing is back on the market and now vacant and staged. So apparently they had to get somebody out of this one and then try to go back to the market again.
Okay, so with the one where they had to get someone out, in LA, it's hard to get someone out of that property. So if there was a tenant or if there was somebody living in that property, they did the right thing by allowing them to vacate that property so that they can go ahead and put it back on the market and put it back into position to get the seller the most amount of money. As an agent, that's what you are supposed to do. I know it's not what you want to hear, but that's the reality. And if you're a buyer's agent, your job is to do a comparative market analysis for your buyer to make sure that you're not overpaying for the home. And there's nothing wrong with that. Okay? Let's move forward.
All right, here's a good one. Escrow hasn't received a deposit for this diamond in the rough. Bring your buyers. Somebody completely did a rug pull on this property. They probably accepted the highest offer, but the highest offer isn't always the best offer.
Now, the one where they didn't accept, where they didn't get the deposit, it sounds like someone failed to do their job. More than likely, it was the buyer's agent. Okay? So if the buyer's agent isn't doing their job and they're not setting up, they're not setting up escrow instructions and keeping their client informed so that they can perform on time, then of course, what do you expect? The home is going to fall out of escrow. It's just the way it is. And there's agents out there, listing agents, that they take their job very, very serious. And so if you don't comply and meet deadlines that are put into these legally binding contracts, then we have precautions to protect our seller to make sure that we don't keep them off the market too long so that we can get them the most amount of money. And so what will happen is if they don't send in their deposit by a certain amount of time, then the listing agent has the right to send a notice to the form, and then 24 hours after that, we can send a cancellation, we can pull out of the deal, and the buyer can't say anything about it. So these are just small tidbits about how the transaction actually works.
All right, let's see what this one has to say. People keep asking why it's been on the market for so long. The seller received 7 offers. The majority were well above asking. However, since the property is non-conforming, it may be difficult to obtain a loan.
Now, here's the thing. Let me see if I can. Here's the thing about this one. We're in August, and he's showing you things from February. Why? Why would he show you old information when we're in August? 2 totally different markets. February earlier this year, totally different market. Here in California, in February, inventory was at its lowest. It was one of the hottest months of this year. So when they say they got 7 offers, there's a possibility that they could have. It could have happened. Because February this year, 2022, was actually one of the hottest markets. It was one of the hottest times of the real estate market this year. But I'm just curious, why would you show someone something that took place back in February today in August? It boggles my mind.
Forming, it may be difficult to obtain a loan. All right, let's see what this one has to say. One buyer's loss is your buyer's golden opportunity.
And see here you can see, again, another home from February. Another home from February, right? Fell out of escrow, whatever, right? And this one has the address, so again, I did some Googling. We're going to take a look at that as well. But let's go ahead and let Mr. Scott Walters finish. The one and only agent that's bringing awareness about this stuff, okay?
This showstopper of a home is back on the market and ready for your savvy buyers. On to our...
Now, that was 1045 T-shirt Court. It was listed in February, and it looks like it sold in February. How about that? And it actually sold for over the asking price. Wow, imagine that. Why would he leave that information out? Now, yes, this was back in February when it closed, but he's showing you homes that have fell out of escrow. He's showing you this information because he wants you to believe what he's telling you. However, if you do a little bit of research on your own, you'll see that some of the things that Mr. Scott Walters brings to light isn't always 100% accurate. Let's move forward.
For next, looking like this may be back on the market at no fault of the property. After very confident and strong offer, the buyers appeared to have shifted focus. Yeah, they probably rethought their offer and decided they were offering too much. And
once again, we don't know what happened, and yet, because we don't have the details, he takes advantage and paints a pretty picture of the buyer backing out because of the price or because what they decided to offer, they thought it was too much. We don't know what happened, okay? But let's move forward.
And yet another common theme. Back on the market due to no fault of the property, buyer got cold feet.
It happens. Buyers get cold feet. Buyers get cold feet. If they feel like they don't have enough information to make an educated decision, they get cold feet. maybe what they were offering was too much. Maybe they realized that. Maybe they realized that their financial situation wouldn't allow them to hold on to a property like that, make the payment if things got tough. Maybe they realized it happens. It happens. That's just a game. Let's move forward.
Let's reread this. Back on the market due to no fault of the property, buyer got cold feet. Well, at least they're being honest.
So there you go, friends. That is what's going on right now in the industry. We are seeing.
So he says that that's what's going on right now in the industry, but the homes that he showed us that fell out of escrow were actually took place earlier this year, at the beginning of this year, 7 months ago, 5 months ago, 6 months ago. How is that happening right now? I'm just curious. Can somebody please explain in the comment section how a transaction that took place 7 months ago has anything to do with what's going on today in August? Can somebody please explain that to me?
In constant notifications of BOM, back on the market. You can call it whatever you want. No fault of the property, buyers got cold feet. In fact, the one that said buyers got cold feet, like, I appreciate that one the most. I mean, the buyers probably did get cold feet. The challenge of this one is this, friends. If I bring you onto the market with your property, and I bring you here, we got a few offers. This is our highest and best. The highest and best offer isn't always the offer that has the highest likelihood of making it through the escrow. We saw stuff where people got into escrow but never even provided a deposit. Full rug pull.
If a buyer gets into escrow, so here's the thing. Here's the thing, right? 3 things are needed to open escrow. Number 1, you need a fully executed RPA, which is a purchase agreement. Number 2, you have to make the deposit. Well, actually, there's only 2 things. That's what you need. You need a fully executed RPA, and you need the deposit in order to open escrow. So technically, if they don't send in the deposit, then you can't open escrow. You can't open escrow without the deposit. That's what you need. You need those 2 things. So the one where they never sent in the deposit, I can almost guarantee that it took about 3 days to get that property back on the market after accepting that offer. And here's the thing. As a listing agent, it's your job to review every single offer, go through the financials, even have them cross-qualified by your lender or a preferred lender to make sure that buyer is actually going to be able to perform, because you can have a DU and that won't mean anything. I mean, there's lenders and there's agents that'll, they'll make a DU just to get their buyer into the door. So, I mean, it happens. It's unfortunate, but it happens. Okay, so let's move forward.
Walked away from a deal. Like I've always said, not only in life, but in real estate, healthy people have healthy relationships. It's so important for the industry to have healthy relationships. As an agent, that's my number 1 goal when I work with other agents. I don't come in and try to strong arm them or push them around. Healthy relationships. Kind, not cynical. Now, if I see blatant bad behavior, I might call people out, because that's just the way I am. I do not like nonsense. I do not like shady salespeople. I do not like seeing people exploit the market. I don't like any of that. I'm just a person out here trying to make sense of the biggest real estate bubble ever produced in world history, and I'm doing my best to bring you guys some real talk. I hope.
And you know what, Scott? There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. If you wanna bring some real talk, then bring some real talk, but make sure that you bring some real facts. Make sure that you bring some real data. Make sure you bring something other than your gut feeling, your assumptions, and your opinion. Because you know what they say about opinions. Everybody has one. Doesn't mean you're right? So, I mean, that's all I'm saying. I just wanted to make this video and just call out some of the things that I seen that were incongruent with the information that you're giving. Okay? We got to do a better job. As agents, we have to do a better job.
Hope you appreciate it. It's not always easy to do what we do here, but it is so very important. In final thoughts, I come to you.
All right, so that's pretty much the video in a nutshell. And like I said, we have to do a better job. If we're going to bring information to the masses and people come onto these platforms to look for information, they're looking for an authority in the industry. They're looking for somebody that's going to be trustworthy and hardworking, and they're going to be honest with them. Then we have to make sure that we're doing our absolute best to provide the most accurate information so that people can make the best educated decision. Again, my name is Joey Rodriguez. I'm with Century 21 Full Realty Services. I'm out of Riverside. If you guys have any questions, please leave them down in the comment section. I'd be happy to answer them for you. For any of your real estate needs, go ahead and check out the description below. I put my website in there. You guys can look all through the MLS. If you're looking for a home, you can also see what your home is worth. And if you have any questions about the Riverside market, just let me know, and I'll be more than happy to answer them for you. Okay, so that's it for today, you guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please leave me some feedback, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.